Here we celebrating 10th anniversary. So we started writing policies in 2012, April. So this year is our 10th anniversary. I think historically it's recorded not many businesses survived the first 3 years. So for us to be celebrating 10 years, it's quite a milestone. I'm proud to be here and to be amongst the excellencies. I'm not representing a country. I'm representing the diasporans and the Diaspora Insurance. We are proud sponsors of the African Business Chamber. Why we sponsor? We believe in the power of networking and unlocking of opportunities. And by coming together as Africans, we also share ideas and exchange ideas and encourage each other to do better. So there's always opportunities in coming together and the support in coming together. So we are very proud to be part of the African Business Chamber. They approached us and I think it was the easiest yes they ever got. That yes, we are willing to be part of the African Business Chamber and we are willing to also sponsor. We are, as Diaspora Insurance, we are a truly Pan-African organization in more than one way. We interlink the diasporans, the African diaspora and the continent. Like said already, far too often Africa becomes the training ground. You train a doctor, you train a nurse, you train an engineer, you train a social worker, you train a banker, you lose them to the first world. That brain drain is really draining Africa in terms of human capital capacity. So how do we reverse that? It's very difficult to reverse it in a physical manner because naturally people will migrate, people will look for opportunities, and there's very little we can do except creating opportunities for them back home. But when people are offshore here in the diaspora, why I'm saying we are a truly African, Pan-African organization is because we are able to interlink the diasporans, the African diasporans lost by the continent into the first world countries and interlink them with their countries back home. How we do that as Diaspora Insurance, it's because we created a product. And the product, the way we created the product was informed by the simple fact that and I want this to be noted, when human beings exist, I think we call human beings as civilized as opposed to any other animals. We are civilized. What is civilization? Civilization is basically, in my own view, it's because we are able to create solutions for our common good. Without that, we can't call ourselves civilized. So we can't have a society or a community or a people be devoured by a simple problem without creating a solution to that problem. I sometimes equate it to a situation where there's a drought. Animals in the bush will die because there is a drought, they can't find water. Human beings will come together and dig a well. They will dig a bore, they will create dams. So that's the definition of civilization, creating solutions for the common good of everyone. In the diaspora, we're faced with a situation where every time there's a bereavement, people were faced with a nightmare of saying, we've got a bereavement, the mother in Kenya is crying, the mother in South Africa is crying, they want because the last time they saw their daughter or they saw their child was the day they left the airport. It was all happy, bye-bye, my son is going to America, my son is going to UK, my daughter is going to Australia. The next thing, God forbid, bereavement happens offshore. And it turns out that there's no money to repatriate that body back home. And it creates a lot of pain for families. So what we realize through personal tragedies, through facing the problems in the community, as Diaspora Insurance, we created a solution. And the solution is called the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan. We do other insurance products in the UK, but our household name product is called the Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan. A very simple product that we created, and To date, like I said, we are in our 10th year. We are now a multi-million-dollar company, and we have paid multi-millions in terms of cash settlements to families, because our product is very simple. It comes as a guaranteed acceptance, pays out cash immediately in the situations of bereavement. And why I said we are a truly Pan-African organization is because we are operating in so many African countries and counting. We are adding more countries as the capacity grows. Right now we are covering about four countries in East Africa. We are covering Ghana in West Africa. We are covering about 8-9 countries in Southern Africa. So we are a very fast growing company, and our product is speaking to the idea of reversing the brain drain. How are we reversing the brain drain? As opposed to the option where people can send money, remittances which are consumer-based remittances. You send money to pay for medical bills, you send money for fees, you send money for... Those remittances are less structured and consumer-based. How we are doing as Diaspora Insurance is that we are creating opportunities not just for African diasporas in the UK or in America or in Australia, where we have our agencies all over the world. We are also creating opportunities for Africans back in Africa, where we have, like in Kenya, the likes of Carol Mutoko, a very popular influencer who is our brand ambassador. We've got business development officers who are from Ghana. We've got designers and developers in Kenya. So we are creating this opportunity where we are creating employment in different African countries. And also, more importantly, when it comes to financial inclusion, we are risk transferring someone. My mom in rural Kenya or rural Ghana may not even know what insurance means, but because she has got a son in Australia, she is able to be covered on an insurance product where the risk resides in the biggest capital markets of the world, in London or in Berlin, through the product that we do. Because a diasporan who is wherever they are in the world, from the qualifying countries, they are able to cover not just themselves in the diaspora, they are also able to cover their family back home. So imagine if a bereavement then happens back home, and the monies are paid from the UK financial markets or from the world's biggest financial markets into those communities. The same 5,000 that maybe you have covered your mom ends up covering the funeral for your mom back in the rural areas. That money will be used to pay maybe a beast for the send-off, to buy a casket, to pay for all the food stuffs, and in the process you are giving someone capacity to pay fees. You are giving someone capacity to be able to send their children to school or to pay for medical bills. So that's the kind of financial inclusion that we are doing by transferring risk or managing risk offshore in the biggest world financial markets into Africa, and creating opportunities in terms of employment opportunities, in terms of all the things. We got our call center here in Birmingham, but we are expanding rapidly in South Africa as well, where we have a call center in Randburg, and we're creating employment in South Africa there as well. And like we are doing in other markets that we are operating, we're in the process of acquiring a big core office block in South Africa, and that's money coming into South Africa, not as consumer remittances, but actual investment going into Africa. And that we view as part of the brain drain reversal. We came here, we are captured, but one way or the other, we will never lose sight of our home. We do things for ourselves here. We do things for our next of kins back home, wherever they are in the world, and we want to have that connection and to keep interlinked. We want to also work with the embassies, because when situations like bereavement happens, it's very saddening to find a situation where that some Ghanaian or some Kenyan or some Zimbabwean, South African, there's a bereavement, the family can't afford the money, the deceased is stuck abroad. It brings our reputation into disrepute as a people. So we want to work with embassies. work with the different churches, we work with all organizations to make sure that this solution reaches out to people, because it is for our common good that we have a solution for our common problems. So we want to continue to work with the African Business Chamber, and we want to work with the embassies. I think we have met His Excellency several times now, and we want to continue to work with the embassies and also to invest in different markets. As we come to these gatherings, we are also keeping our ears open. We are also looking for investment opportunities. So we also want to look, we are also offering that as a growing company, there are opportunities arising from our growth, and we want distribution partners, we want people who are able to advise on the product, so the opportunities are, it's a mutual, it's a two-way street. So we are looking for opportunities, and we are giving other people opportunities. So I want to thank you on this note, and we will continue to support the chamber. Thank you. Thank you all so much.
Incredible story. Thank you very much. And I'm aware that some of the insurance firms from the region have tried to set up such opportunities, but they've not been able because of the licensing issues. And I see you're regulated by the FCA. I think that gives everybody some form of confidence. Thank you very much. I think that story really, the story of your business is a really good one from a diaspora perspective.